I think in the easiest terms, there's filmmakers and there's film fakers. I'm a filmmaker. There's an old saying, crime doesn't pay, but the hours are good. I used to believe that right up to the point that I didn't. I turned over a new leaf, see, went straight, and I thought I finally paid my dues when I got the call to make this film. The producers were a dream duo, a fiery Irish honey and a connected Iraqi millionaire. They had the money and a plan. All they needed was a director. The rewards were just too good to turn down. But it wasn't a director they wanted. They needed a patsy, see? And like a mug, I fell for it. I had to go straight to be taken by the biggest con artists I'd ever met. 2 years on, they're doing Bird, while the film industry punishes me for their crime.
Don't you wonder sometimes?
A gang has been jailed for pretending to make a Hollywood film so they could claim millions of pounds in tax relief.
The plan was a heist on the tax man. The fraudsters ran into trouble when they started facing an investigation and ended up having to shoot a real film.
My name is Aoife Matten and I would like to welcome you to our very first video diary for the making of A Landscape of Lies.
So production is basically having a movable, mobile location.
He was from a very wealthy Iraqi family who was taking advantage of the booming property market in Manchester. And they weren't just small schemes, they were skyscraper schemes.
That's one of his failed schemes at the end of the road there. That was Sarah Point, which was the last of the 4 development sites that he bought in central Manchester.
The Polish worker that died at Sarah Point, it became clear that his health and safety procedures on site were really, really poor, really shocking actually.
I make no bones, I am an ex-criminal. I'm the godson of Charlie Cray. There was a few years where I was deliberately picking fights. So I was that stereotypical doorman. You're a face puncher.
I would suggest that Paul found it reasonably easy to write that script. He certainly has a lot of experience that he can call upon.
You see, the way I see it, there's business skills and there's business skills. You can undercut my offer, where I just cut your legs off. Excuse me? You're excused. Now let's get to it. I want that land.
It was a great opportunity, and I love how Paul writes. Like, he's like a modern day, urban Shakespeare.
I will kill you, and your wife, and your daughter, and your fucking next door neighbour's cat.
It was kind of like Liam Neeson in Taken. I had that in my head. And I will find you, and I will kill you.
Welcome back to a lorry load of laughs and chat with the loose women this Thursday lunchtime.
Put the TV on and there was this Andrea McLean. And visually, she was the character. Done. On the computer, looked up who her agent was, threw the proposal over, and just waited. And 2 days later, they phoned back and went, she's interested, you know she's never acted before. And I went, brilliant.
She's a good girl.
Oh, really? And what about you? Good girl? Bad girl?
Oh, I'm a bad girl.
Yeah.
I'm a really bad girl.
We had some loosely termed named actors, certainly people you'd recognise off the TV.
I thought you wanted to be a weather girl.
Yeah, and? Look, it's called having goals, Warren. Not that you know much about that.
Look, I've got goals.
Yeah, well, we should score a few more.
As an actor, you always think to yourself, is this the one that's going to maybe get me out there and make me take the next step? You know, because from taking the step from TV to film is a big one.
Everything okay? Mr. Woods is just leaving.
I concluded my final day's shoot, and from what I'd seen personally, I thought we had something that was pretty worthy.
Welcome to the Blue Lounge.
This is a strip club.
Burlesque.
There a difference?
Big time. Burlesque is really in at the moment. The crowd loves it. It's more tease than sleaze.
I'm looking at the site of the Las Vegas Film Festival, where this film won a Golden Ace Award for 2012, and looking at this list of 22 feature films, I can confidently say that I've seen none of them.
Individuals and businesses must pay their fair share.
When the court case started, it was a Monday, and obviously the charges was read out, and there was 5 of them, one of them being Aoife, and on the day Aoife just went guilty. End of. Yes. And as soon as she said guilty, the other 4 went not guilty, it was all her.
It hurts because you try so hard, to make your dreams come true, and they're smiling in your face, and they're laughing at you.
People in the industry didn't want to touch me, didn't want to use me for writing, didn't want me to direct, didn't want me to produce. It was like I was blackballed. It's cost me and my family greatly.
When I first read this, I think in one of the trades, my first thought was that if this film was made as part of a tax scam, how many other films have I seen that were made as tax scams but had better accountants and got away with it?
If they'd pulled it off, it would have been worth £2.7 million. As the fraudsters started their jail terms today, one final twist. The director of the cover film is now being followed by a documentary crew who reckon his story has the makings of a great film.